This kid thought he and his buddy could steal a couple cars, kill somebody, run another person off their bike, record the whole thing for the lulz on social media, and then either get away scot-free or with a slap on the wrist. But fortunately, not everywhere in the United States is New York City or Chicago or the People's Socialist Republic of California. Welcome back to the Political Living Room. I am Karen. This is my living room. I've got my limonada in crystal, and we are going to have a little conversation about politics. Hello there. Mm, 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 mm. Happy Sunday. Alrighty. Let's get right to it. So this is Jesus Ayala. This is his buddy, Mr. Keys, and they have become famous all over the planet. Footage shows teen driver appears to deliberately hit and kill retired police officer Andreas Probst. Okay, so and why would they record that? For the lulz, because unless you're getting lulz and likes on social media, unless you're going viral, then I guess you're nobody. And what could go more viral than running old men off their bicycles with your stolen car? It's just a lull fest if you're a sociopath. Or if you live in the United States, where our growing climate of lawlessness is certainly not lost on kids, and they see other kids getting away with all kinds of crap. So they might as well go for it. Alrighty, let's keep going. The article states, a retired California police chief appeared to be deliberately mowed down and killed while riding his bike in Las Vegas by a laughing teenage driver whose pal can be heard saying, "Yeah, hit him." Andreas Probst, 64, was killed after he was deliberately struck while out for a morning bike ride around 6 a.m. on August 14th, according to the Las Vegas police. One of the reasons it took me a while to get around to this is because I'm a recreational cyclist. I've been really slack lately, but I have gone for the occasional early morning bike ride, and one of the reasons you go at that time is because there's less traffic and you're less likely to get killed. But here's the thing that they did in the area that I live in. I ride in a park. It used to be very easy to get out of the way of traffic. I have heard engines rev behind me, and I have pulled off the road to get out of the way of some idiot who felt like, what is this, the foot and a half that I take up is, just doesn't leave enough room for them to pass. I've also had people swerve onto the shoulder where I'm riding, but I could get off. Well, they recently put stones along the shoulder, so you can't do that anymore. If this man had been riding in a place where he could get out of the way, he may very well still be alive. It's very disturbing. So I had to process this for a little while so that my response to it wouldn't just be something that would not be fit for YouTube. Let's keep going. The 17-year-old driver of the Hyundai was arrested by police soon afterwards. He has since been charged with murder. Awesome. Exactly. After police discovered a video posted to social media, I told you, do it for the lulz and the likes, that allegedly showed him deliberately hitting the man. This weekend, the shocking footage went viral online, showing the driver asking his pal, "Ready?" as the passenger films, laughing. "Yeah, hit him." Okay, so let's just take a look at these guys one more time. So we have this little Aladdin, Mr. Keys. His name is Jasmir Keys. I bet he was a joy in the classroom. And also this Aladdin scholar innocent baby, Jesus Ayala. So Ayala and Keys. Look at the expression. Look at that. Look at that. Almost like, he's being accused of doing something wrong. Oh, the poor thing. My heart bleeds. Okay. So this is very cool. Vegas teens charged in retired cops hit and run death. allegedly attempted murder in wild crime spree. So I mentioned that I think this was the second car they had stolen, and they also hit parked cars, and they knocked another guy off his bike. Lovely. What a lovely pair. So fortunately for the people of the town they live in, they are not going to be released with no bail. Because, if this were New York or Chicago, that's what would happen. So we're going to pop this out for a moment, and we're going to pop on over to YouTube, and we're going to listen. Okay, hold on. Whoop. We're going to listen to an actual law enforcement professional who is allowed to do his job talk about what these kids are going to be subject to, which is not being released on bail. Let me just get to that for you folks. Here we go. Alrighty, we're going to come in right here. Let's do it.
I believe these teens should remain in custody, and what do you think is an appropriate bail amount for each of them?
Determination of whether somebody should remain in custody is based upon whether they're a flight risk or danger to the community. Okay? I believe they're potentially both. They have certainly proved that they are dangerous.
Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson also explaining how his office will work to prosecute both teens for murder.
Well, under law in Nevada and most any other place, if you aid and abet, encourage, facilitate, or help in any way another person to commit a crime, you're equally guilty.
Isn't that wonderful? I love it. I absolutely love it. Law enforcement personnel actually prosecuting criminals. The criminals are persecuting us. The law enforcement professional is prosecuting the criminals, which is what they deserve. So, good on Steve Wolfson and the state of Nevada for actually demonstrating some sanity and some concern for the citizens of Nevada, and also for the citizens of the United States. Because when you live in a city like New York or Chicago, it's very easy to be disheartened by the continual release of criminals and the refusal to prosecute. So when I see something like this, it does my heart good. So now, let's take a look at this. When the Vegas teen told cops, "I'll be out in 30 days," after he was nabbed in killing of retired police chief in hit and run report. Well, as we have seen, no, that's not going to happen, because some people really still do believe in law enforcement. Okay, so let's read a little bit about the hubris demonstrated by this sociopathic kid. That was Ayala who said that. "I'll be out in 30 days. No. The teen driver who allegedly mowed down a retired police chief in a fatal hit and run told Las Vegas police he would be back on the street in under a month. Wow. You think this juvenile bleep is going to do some bleep? "I'll be out in 30 days, I'll bet you," Ayala told the cops, according to KLAS. "It's just a bleep, hit and run, slap on the wrist." Now, when he made this statement, police had not yet told Ayala about any hit and run charges, and he was only arrested for a warrant and obstructing a peace officer, the outlet reported. But even so, obstructing a peace officer and some previous warrant would only get 30 days? I don't know about that. But, it doesn't matter. The point is, he's been accused of murder. He's not going anywhere. Ayala is being held at Clark County Detention Center without bail and was hit with 18 charges, including murder, attempted murder, and grand larceny. And that little idiot who was in the car next to him is going to be charged too. Woo and who, again, good on you, Los Angeles. Now, I have been talking about the growing climate of lawlessness in the United States. But it's not just a United States phenomenon. When I heard about Ayala and Keys, I thought of this guy. You remember him? You remember Mitzi or Mizzy or whatever his freaking name is? Yeah, this little scholar, this Aladdin. When I saw this guy, I thought he's TikTok famous for, and also famous all over the UK. He was on Piers Morgan, for the love of God, and we're going to hear a little snippet from that interview. But this kid has gotten so much attention from the world for all of the problems he's caused, right? Entering people's homes without permission, getting into people's cars, again, without permission, right? So breaking and entering, but recording it on video for the lulz. Listen to what he says, because people were very upset that he kept getting arrested and then getting released within hours. But listen to what he said. Even sociopaths are not, they're not wrong all the time. So here we go. Let's take a look at this video here. And we are just going to pop this out. And we're going to pop this in. And the reason I called him a role model is because I'm sure that there are a bunch of kids who are following his example. They're like, look, he's famous. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody keeps talking about him all the time. So if we do the same thing, we can be just as famous. Maybe we'll be on Piers Morgan too. Yay. Isn't it amazing how you never hear stories about, right, on social media, you never hear stories about kids who get good grades because it's not interesting, or kids who do their homework or whatever, never hear that. You always hear about these freaking miscreants who are bringing our society down. Alrighty, and now the computer is doing something. I don't know what this is. It's never done this before. Okay. All right, let's see if it catches up. There we go. Okay. All right. Awesome. Let's hear it.
I don't care about your skin color, Lizzie. I care about the fact that you've been terrorizing all these people for a sustained period of time. I also care about the fact you've only got a tiny fine today, no deterrent to you whatsoever. You don't show any real remorse. You don't really care, do you?
The UK laws are weak, simple as. And that's not, the UK laws are weak, simple as, and that's not my fault.
I don't care about your skin color.
You heard him. You heard him. The UK laws are weak, simple as. He's right about that. He's also right about the laws in the United States. Those laws are weak. We love to let criminals, particularly little black kids of color who commit criminal acts, we love to let them out and excuse them. And what it does is it creates a permanent underclass because they have no motivation to do anything else, right? It discourages other kids who might want to do something else with their lives, because one thing that all kids want is attention. So they see these other kids getting attention and they think that's the way to do it. It destabilizes communities. It demoralizes the law-abiding people in those communities. And so it is a tool of oppression. Now, you could also argue that the only person or the only people who are responsible for black criminality are black criminals. And you're right. But let me ask you a question. Why is our society so invested in glamorizing criminality? And why are we so invested in putting those criminals back on the street and back into the communities where they can cause the most harm? I think it is definitely something worth thinking about. I'm going to leave this here, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.